Imagine trying to reach out to editors of publications and getting rejected again and again and again. Well, that stops right here, right now. In this episode of the Vegan Visibility Podcast Show Summit Special, I had the distinct privilege with VLynn Hawkins to interview Jana Short, editor of Best Holistic Life magazine. That's Best Holistic Life magazine and bestholisticlife.com. Stick around because Jana pulled back the cover, shared things that most editors would never tell you on why you may not be getting your media releases published, why you need to prepare for the opportunities, and what you can do to assure success. You're in for a great treat on the Vegan Visibility Podcast Show.
Welcome to the Vegan Visibility Podcast Show, where your host, Kathleen Gage, shines the spotlight on vegan and plant-based businesses and entrepreneurs from all walks of life committed to cruelty-free eating, healthy lifestyles, animal compassion, and the environment. Enjoy the show.
Well, I am beyond excited. I just can't believe the quality and caliber of experts we have for the summit this year. And before we get into that, I want to let you know that you're listening to the Vegan Visibility Podcast Show. I am your host, Kathleen Gage, and you're also listening to VLynn Show. VLynn?
Hi, and welcome everyone. I'm VLynn Hawkins, your host of the Health, Wisdom, and Wealth Show. Powerful conversations for living your best life. And we, Kathleen and I, are so excited to introduce you to one of our summit experts, Jana Short. She is the CEO and chief editor of Best Holistic Life magazine, and she has just got a plethora of information to share with you during the summit. And we wanted to bring her into our podcast shows to share a little bit about it with you. So first, though, Jana, welcome to the shows and tell us a little bit about you.
Hi, ladies. Thank you so much for having me. Well, she just told you a lot about me, but what you didn't know is that I am in my 60s. I started this new career in my 50s. I'm the grandmother of 7 beautiful grandchildren, and they're not babies, like they're 17 and down to 6. So my life is full.
Well, I love that because we're also in our 60s. We're in our late 60s. And yeah, I'm like a year and a half away from 70. And I'm going, how did that happen? It's like, well, I stayed alive for 68 and a half years. That's it. But I'm curious, with the summit, you are actually going to talk from an editor's perspective. Your magazine has a subscription list of nearly 1 million people. So it's not a small magazine by any stretch of the imagination. And you have very specific strategies that you use to grow your magazine and also to showcase people. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your magazine and then what you're going to share in the summit?
So my magazine is called Best Holistic Life magazine. It is a work of love from me that came out of an illness. And of course, you'll learn about it in the summit, but a little bit of laziness. And it turned into this beautiful thing that goes out sharing with others about holistic points of view. So through nutrition, spiritual, mental health, physical well-being, it covers everything. We have some great recipes, all the fun stuff in there. And we're at almost 1 million subscribers now after 3 years. So I'm very excited about it. But what you're going to learn in the summit is a little bit on how you too can get exposure in publications like this, how you can get more exposure on podcasts, more exposure in summits like this, instead of listening to the summit, being one of the guests on the summit, right? Doesn't that sound great? And so it teaches you a little bit about getting ready for that, getting your story and message ready for that, and becoming this trained speaker, what to do, what not to do, what works really well, what doesn't work at all. So it's all going to be inside of the lesson that we do, or the course that we're teaching.
Wonderful. And I want to remind people that to sign up for the summit, you definitely want to do this. We have 12 experts who are just rock stars. They're amazing. I'm beyond grateful for what we're creating with this. Go to veganvisibility.com/summit 2022 Jana. That's veganvisibility.com/summit 2022 Jana, and that's Jana. And you'll be able to sign up for free from the 16th of November to the 18th. And if you want to upgrade, there's lots of wonderful reasons to upgrade. It's a very nominal investment, and we want to bring you the best of the best. So, VLynn, I know that you always have great questions to ask our experts. So what is your next question?
Well, first of all, thank you, Kathleen. I'm so excited to be a part of the summit and to be a part of all that's going on with wonderful guests like Jana. And I do have a question because I'm a subscriber to the magazine. I was introduced to it by one of your covers, Judy Hahn, one of my friends, and I was just blown away because what I first got exposed to was the hard copy. The soft cover copy of the magazine, beautifully done, gorgeous layout. I mean, top of the line. And then to find out that you also have an online subscription. And so my question is, how did that come about? Were you all hard copy at first and then went with a hybrid and brought in the digital aspect? Did you start them both at the same time? Give us a little bit of info on that.
So I hated the hard copy, VLynn, hated it. I'm a global influencer and I want the message of hope to go around the world. And how do you do that? Digitally. But my clients wanted the hard copy. And I think it's like holding your cover in your hands just gives you this excitement. So after the first year, I thought, you know what, I'll do one time just to show you guys it's not going to sell. It's not a thing, right? It did really well. And so after that, we just started releasing both it's also on Kindle, by the way, and we're creating a new app that goes out January 1st. So you'll be able to get it on your phone on an app as well. But it started out as just digital. We released the first hard copy and it did so well that we just kept creating both. So I love the hard copy now. I have that love-hate relationship with it because it's a lot of extra work, but people love that. And I can't believe that they remember to go order every month, but they do.
Beautiful, beautiful. I know that that was one of the things that really got me. We're exposed to magazines all over the place all the time, but rarely do you get one that has the beautiful cover layout, the insides, the stories. Oh my goodness, the stories are so relevant and relatable, and just the messages that come through in the stories. So tell us a little bit about how you bring your guests in to do the cover and write the articles.
Well, I'm going to use Judy for an example. So I hope she doesn't get mad at me, but Judy was on our cover for her 70th birthday month, right? And she doesn't have a very large following, but she's powerful in her message. And she wrote for us for a while, and I noticed how much her articles were gaining traction. And so we reached out to her for the second year and said, we'd still like for you to write for us, but I would love to have you on a cover. And she was so like, no, I'm going to be 70 years old. And she was one of our best selling covers ever. So it doesn't matter what age you're in or how many social media followers. It really is all about your story and the impact you're making. And she had all of those marked off. Those boxes were check, check, check. So when we're looking for someone to write for us, we're really listening for your story. We call them here at Best Holistic Life heartbeats, right? You share a part of your story in whatever you're educating on, right? There's a little human side to it. And that heartbeat goes out into the world and connects to just the right people that need to hear it at that moment. And so for me, the magazine, every month we release it, is filled with beautiful heartbeats that go out and offer hope to the world.
And speaking of heartbeats and how people can actually see your heartbeat stories in your magazine, how can people reach you? And the reason I really want you to showcase your web address or where people can find the magazine, I want them to see, first of all, they see the quality in what you're sharing right now. And I want them to see the quality in the magazine so that they know this summit is definitely something they need to join in on, because you really are going to pull back the curtain on what people need to know in order to be featured in magazines, in order to get visibility. And in the vegan world, one of my life's work's mission. The thing that I'm really committed to is helping people to shine the spotlight so they're not keeping their message a secret. The animals need you. Your health needs you. The environment needs you. So how can people find information on the magazine and what you do?
So that's super easy. You guys can just go to bestholisticlife.com. So it's bestholisticlife.com, and you can just send me a message through there, but you can also get a free subscription to the magazine. We just launched our new website, so it's really very pretty, but you can just go there and do that. Having said that, I think it's super important that you show up for this summit. And let me tell you why. Your story is super powerful, and there people like me are looking for it. So go in there and watch the summit, learn from all the beautiful experts we give of our time, because it's not for us, it's really for you. So you can grow and you can build and you can stand out and start making that change that you're wanting to do. But go watch the summit, because maybe you'll learn how to connect with me and get a subscription or an article into the magazine. There's lots of secrets and tips in there.
Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. So I can't believe our time for this particular interview is just about up. And in closing, VLynn, what is your final question?
My final question is, how did you get on this journey? I mean, you did a little bit about your story, but magazine, the whole bringing all the stories together, a magazine is a collaborative effort. How did you get on this journey?
So I'm going to try to get this in like less than 2 minutes. So I was diagnosed with something that I had less than 2 weeks to survive. After 3 months in the hospital, I was sent home to pass away in the comfort of my own home. Had a brand new grandbaby who's now 10. So this was a decade ago, but he was only a couple months old. And I was saying goodbye to him, and I kept thinking, how will he have one memory of me? And I got on this journey to create a memory with him. And I'm 10 years later, I've created tons of beautiful memories with all of them. But I wasn't supposed to be here. And I realized later, wait, what happened? This was all mindset. I still live in my same diagnosis, by the way. Nothing's changed, except for I'm thriving in it every day. And I knew that was possible for others. So I wrote a book. And it was my story, but honestly, I didn't have the courage to write it all by myself. So I brought in other stories, and it became a bestseller. I'm like, wait, why? Nobody knows me. How is this a bestseller? And then an international bestseller. And so I realized it was their stories and how powerful their stories are. And so I became the story business, right? How do I get more stories out there so people feel like I'm not the only one going through this? There's still hope for me. Wait, here's a couple great tips. And I literally built a platform with collaborating with other people and their beautiful stories, however messy or painful they were. When I was introduced to them, they were in a space of joy and happiness and gratitude because of that journey. And I wanted to share that with everyone. So that's where all of this came from.
Now that is
That's
a powerful
amazing.
story. And on that note, I just want to thank you so much, Jana, for all you're doing, the stories you're sharing. You're helping others share their stories, because together we're here to change the world in a very positive way, raise the vibration, and really make life worth living, regardless of how long or how short you're going to be on the earth. Make it a good life. And because of people like you, we can do this. And VLynn, I adore you. I'm so grateful you and I have collaborated on this project and many more. And to all of our listeners and viewers, thank you so much for what you're doing. And my message to you is go out and do what you're here to do. Quit playing small, get sweaty palms, and jump off that cliff so you can start flying. This is Kathleen Gage with Vegan Visibility and
VLynn Hawkins with Health, Wisdom, and Wealth. And I want you to know that you can be well, live, love, and make a bigger positive impact maker in your world.
have a great
See
day.
you next time.
You've been listening to the Vegan Visibility Podcast Show. Be sure to subscribe to get notified when the next episode is live. And we always appreciate reviews. Join us next time for more inspiration, education, and motivation to build your business one cruelty-free and healthy person at a time.